embarked on another edition of Thursday Night Football, and this is for first in the NFC South, and Tracy Wolfson's down on the sideline.
Thanks, Jim. A difficult turnaround for both teams. The Saints having just played Sunday night, the Panthers having lost to the Super Bowl champs. Both teams told me it was all about keeping it simple this week, not adding too many new plays and resting players, but once they kick off, it's about scoring first. The team that has scored first on Thursday night this season has won every game. We'll see if it holds true tonight, Jim.
Yeah, that's something that Sean Payton was certainly aware of, and it's just remarkable, Phil Simms, when you look at the South. This a couple of years ago, some thought it was the strongest division in the league, and it's definitely been the weakest for this year.
A lot of people thought before the year it might be the strongest, but I think Tracy, Jim, she hit it right on the button. Sean Payton, they win the toss. What do? They take the football, get off to a fast start before this crowd gets into it. That's some of the thinking behind his decision.
Well, you know the Saints are just tired of hearing about how they struggle on the road. They won a postseason game in Philadelphia on the road, but they've lost 7 straight regular season games away from home. And they're going to start out at the 20 as Cadet doesn't even think about bringing it back from the back of the end zone. So Drew Brees comes out again off a big performance, the best performance by the Saints on the season, the 44-23 win over Green Bay on Sunday night. And he is the first to tell you these matchups against the Panthers, always a struggle, always a good matchup, very physical battle between these two. Mark Ingram is the tailback. See how he backs up his best performance ever. He gets met right on the handoff and is able to power ahead for about 3.
Well, Jim, we had a chance to talk to Drew Brees. Short week, we talk about it every Thursday night. Keep the game plan simple. They want to run the football. Of course, every team does, but they think if they run it, they'll have a chance for some play-action passes and go deep down the field to get those scores. Sean Payton is always looking for a way to get that big play.
He's got 3 tight ends in for the second down snap, 2nd and 7. They're going to go with Ingram again. Nice little cut, and he's got the first down and a whole lot more. Out to the 40. Josh Hill, one of those tight ends, out there helped free him for a gain of 19.
Watch the tight ends on the left. Mark Ingram, boy, the confidence. Luke Kuechly, the middle linebacker, watched him last week and says he looks like a different guy. Why? Because he gets all the carries. He's getting the confidence. He's got the swagger. He also said, man, he's got more wiggle this year than we saw him in the past. And good start to the game for Mark Ingram.
And let's give a nod also to Benjamin Watson with a key block, first down run. And this time the Saints are stuffed. Ingram for no gain. Now Ingram just coming back from a hand injury that kept him out for about a month this season. But, you know, the 172, the amazing thing is his 41st career game. In his first 40, he had only one 100-yard rushing performance, and last week this explosion.
I think he's learned to be an NFL running back. To me, he looks like he's trimmer, more shifty, and of course that helps.
It's the first play, they're not going to him. And on second down, they've got the connection, and it's Cooks advancing it to the Carolina 40 with an 18-yard pass play from Brees.
Well, they have so many plays where they're pump faking one side, and the guy gets open, he throws it down the left. But Drew Brees fakes left and watch the hole to the right side. Nobody around Cook. Why? They reacted to Drew Brees pump fake to the left side.
They've got Graham now lined up wide to the right, now shifted into a slot on 1st and 10 as Brees has an open target again, and it's Cooks for a second straight play. This one is for a gain of 6. You start looking at Brees and trying to put it in perspective. He's already now 4th all-time in number of completions, passing yards, second only to Peyton in 300-yard performances, and he's tied with Tom Brady. They keep going back and forth, tied 4th all-time in touchdown passes.
Look, Drew Brees left San Diego, Jim, and he went to heaven. He went to New Orleans with Sean Payton in an offense that fits his skills perfectly. You play zone coverage, you're going to lose tonight.
2nd and 5. Steps up and finds Jimmy Graham in the red zone at about the 17.
Well, such a tough matchup. It is almost every week with these tight ends. Number 80 going across. They have Josh Norman this time covering him. Josh Norman is a corner, but he's so big. Breeze, excellent touch on the football, gets it over the top. Who do you match up on Jimmy Graham? Well, my answer to you is good luck.
Graham was shut out in receptions the first half last Sunday night, but then caught 5 balls, including a touchdown in the second half. First down carry, and wiggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's Ingram for no gain. But Graham, he was really out for a game, had the shoulder injury, looked like he had no confidence, and then Breeze started to work him in that second half.
Yeah, he did. You could see his confidence grow in last week's game against Green Bay, and of course they talked about him to all the players and coaches this week. You have him inside. He's such a weapon. They can throw it to him because of his size. He's fast. He's a very good double move guy. Can fake out, go up the sidelines. They use him well.
2nd and 10. It's Ingram, and he's doubled up after a pickup of 4. But Sean Payton, you talked about one to toss, one of the football, and was well aware that the team that starts fast on Thursday nights has really had the upper hand.
Well, it's a good start for them. They're going to be disappointed if they have to kick a field goal. They're finally in a 3rd down situation, but no excuses for Sunday night, he said, and coming up here not playing well. He made it a point to say to us, we are going to play lights out.
That's exactly what he said. I think a lot of people want to make a big to-do about it. We're going to play lights out. 3rd and 6. And Breeze. Pass is intercepted. It's intercepted by the Panthers on the deflection by Dwan Edwards. This ball bounced around right off of Kenny Stills, and Edwards comes away with the interception in the red zone. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Vote for the Never Say Never moment of the week. And by Cialis. As we look down on the beautiful skyline of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Antoine Case in the corner does a good job. Gets a hand in there. That makes the football go up in the air, and Edwards gets the interception. Kind of had a little double team there. He had Trey Boston to the inside because Jimmy Graham went out in the flat.
By the way, Jimmy Graham got laid out by Thomas Davis. Got hit right underneath the chin. Had nothing to do with the shoulder.
Well, here's what happens. Watch Stills go down here. Since Graham does this, it frees up a safety. And then Case in the corner gets a little tighter coverage. They read the quarterback, and they break on the football. That was the most aggressive coverage by the Carolina defense in that whole drive, and they came up with a play because of that.
It's interesting that Davis' hit, though, on Graham was before the ball was even deflected, much less picked. And Graham was able to get up and walk to the sidelines. 2nd red zone pick thrown by Drew this season. He had only one in 2 previous years. And now we'll see the Panthers first snap, with Greg Olsen joined at the tight end position by Ed Dixon. They're going to start D'Angelo Williams, who's been out the last 5 weeks with an ankle. Newton's going for the long ball to Benjamin, and it's just a yard too long. Keenan Lewis was on the coverage.
Well, they said they want to take some shots against this team tonight, and that was a good way to do it. A little unbalanced line. He's just going to go down the field like this, and if Cam Newton throws it across the field, Kelvin Benjamin is going to track it down, but he throws it down the middle, and that keeps it just out of his reach.
They split out D'Angelo Williams to the near side, and here he comes shifting back. And they toss it to him. The former first-round pick out of Memphis, already now in his 9th year, the all-time leading rusher in franchise history. He's got 1 in his return carry. As you look at Cam's numbers on the season, you've watched every snap this year. What have you seen?
Well, I think he's played pretty well. He's made a couple mistakes, Jim. He was a little aggressive last week against Seattle. He said, hey, that game was on me. But they put so much pressure on him. It's drop back and read the defense and throw, and then he's so involved in a running game. As I said in the opening, physically and mentally, it's about as tough as you can put it on the quarterback in this league.
3rd and 8. Jonathan Stewart's come in as the 3rd down back. Newton's taking off and trying to run for the first, and I believe he dove for it and got it. He did.
He did. And the number one key, what do you think it is? Collette gets caught inside. Hicks on a little game. You can't let him outside the pocket. The number one key to New Orleans defense is what? Let's watch the quarterback. Don't let him run. So the first notable pass situation, they make a big mistake.
And again, he's got 2 rookies starting on the left side of that line. This Jonathan Stewart spinning away, and nice carry for a gain of 12. That rookie left tackle. Watch what they do here for the Stewart carry.
I was going to get them out. Yes, they're very aggressive. The first couple plays, you talk about that left side, Norwell and Foku, really good job of being aggressive, and that's what you want to do. Be aggressive on 1st and 2nd down so you don't put too much pressure on this offensive line in obvious 3rd down passes.
Foku is their left tackle out of Montreal. 1st down throw, and it is hauled in. Greg Olson with the catch for 11 more. And the Panthers are driving with their first possession.
Well, they're making it look pretty easy. Greg Olson, yeah, that's typical. See, a defensive lineman, they're worried about him, so they hit him before they go to the quarterback. But they like to put him on one side of the field by himself. If it's man-to-man coverage, they usually throw and catch him.
D'Angelo Williams, no, it's the keep by Newton to the 39, give him 1. Vaccaro was there to meet him.
Yeah, the old, I guess you want to say, triple option. They tried it many times last week, and it worked just like that.
We'll get
very
back
little game.
To these rookies on the left side. Phil, you've been looking at them on tape. Foku at left tackle. He's got a matchup with Cameron Jordan. He's 6'8", a free agent rookie out of Montreal University.
Walk by him on the field in pregame warm-ups, and he's even big for the NFL.
2nd and 9. And Cam's pass incomplete. Jason Avant, that was a catchable ball. Corey White was there to help make sure there was contact that might help knock it loose.
Well, it was a perfect throw. And, you know, everybody seems to have an opinion always about Cam Newton. Oh, he's not doing this. And all I know is I go by what I see. And what I see is a guy that throws the football on the money into tight coverage a lot. And that was a good example. He can get it to the sidelines with very little effort and right on target. Should have been a catch.
Here's Ron Rivera in his 4th year. His team that went 12-4 last year. 3rd and 9. And that pass is incomplete. As Corey White got a hand on it for the Saints.
It's got to be a mix-up. You know, you see 2 receivers like that in the same spot. Jason Avant and Benjamin coming across. Just not good timing. That's going to happen. Listen, when you're a team that does so many things, they're not going to be a great drop-back passing team because of the run game, play action, and the running of the quarterback.
The punter is Brad Nortman in his 3rd year out of Wisconsin. Now he's had a high number of touchbacks. Joe Webb is the up back. As Nortman has had 5 go into the end zone. This was a fair catch, though, by Cooks. At the 10-yard line, 29-yard punt got the job done for the Panthers. Each team crosses midfield but fail to produce points. Tuesday, get the exclusive look into an undrafted player's journey to the league. It's an all-new episode of the original series, Undrafted. Tuesday at 9 Eastern, or catch the special advance premiere tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network. The stadium of the Panthers, Bank of America Stadium, it's undergone some renovation here since January this year. $64 million in improvements. As now Breeze rolls out on the bootleg and finds Jimmy Graham, who launches to escape Roman Harper, his old teammate, and picks up 19.
Yeah, that's a great play, and he's a tremendous athlete, but I'd say, hey, don't do it, because the reward is not worth the risk. And you see this more and more in the league because the tacklers, why they're going low, especially some of these big guys, but the landing, the hit before you land, excellent jump, but again, dangerous.
It's Ingram And nice tackle. Holds him to no gain. Josh Norman and Wes Horton was in the area. This Panthers defense is quite a bit different than last year.
It's amazing. Look at those numbers just from second to first to the 17th to the late 20s. And there's one big reason, Jim, and that is Greg Hardy. And you say, how can that affect so many numbers? I know they have new defensive backs, but they lost their best pass rusher. He could win one-on-ones. It affects the other teams. It affects how you call plays against this Panthers defense.
2nd and 10, and that is incomplete. Of course, Hardy, the Pro Bowler, was removed from the active roster in September and placed on the exempt commissioners list. He continues to be paid. His case was supposed to be decided by a jury in November. He was found guilty in a preliminary trial, but there are reports out in the last few hours that jury trial has been postponed, and he's anxious for it to come about. And he's hoping to play again this season, but there are reports it might not be until after the season, which would keep him sidelined. 3rd and 10. Down the field, back shoulder to Colston. And a typical Breeze throw right there in a 3rd down situation for 22.
Yes, against the defensive back James Dockery lines up inside, so that gives Drew Brees a lot of room to throw it, and they have perfected the back shoulder throw through the years down in New Orleans, especially when they're at home. Tonight, the weather is so perfect, the field is so fast. This is truly, except for the crowd, of course, like playing in the dome.
First and 10, and Ingram hard run for about 6, and there is a flag down. Clete Blakeman is tonight's referee.
Illegal use of hands to the face, defense number 97. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. It's an automatic first down.
And we've got a Panther player injured. It is Coney Ely, their 2nd-round pick out of Missouri. We'll be right back. Ron Rivera happy to see Ely walk to the sideline. We were talking about Greg Hardy in that domestic abuse case that's still pending, and how this Carolina defense, all the statistical numbers have sunk since a year ago. 1st and 10. As Breeze lost the football, and Addison is there to fall on it. A second Saints turnover. Charles Johnson was applying the pressure, and it looked like it actually hit Lorig, the fullback of the Saints, and knocked the ball out. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by the Lexus GX. Dare to be spontaneous. And by Pepsi. Live in the moment. The beach starts at Pepsi.com. Pepsi, live for now. You look at Carolina's Aviation Museum on the grounds of Charlotte International Airport. Here's the play, and it's off Lorig, in fact, as we suspected.
Well, Carolina, Charles Johnson against anybody besides an offensive lineman is a mismatch.
Williams for 2. Cam Newton was on the sideline spitting up blood while the Saints had possession a few minutes back. What was the story you hear down there, Tracy?
Well, he got hit to the face, and I was told he got scratched in the face, but you are right, he was spitting up blood. He was wincing in pain. They put some ice on it. It's not going to keep him out, but it's definitely something to watch in case it becomes a problem again on the field, guys.
Okay, 2nd and 9 for Newton. Takes a couple of handoffs and goes down the field to Benjamin, and incomplete.
Yeah, well covered. Really good footwork and ball faking by Cam Newton, but the Saints not fooled. On the outside, they love to try to get deep throws to Kelvin Benjamin, and it takes so long And Raphael Bush is all over.
We met with Kelvin Benjamin yesterday. I have never seen a wide receiver in this league that is built like this rookie out of Florida State.
Yeah, it was hard to believe. He walked in the room. I'd say he's every bit of 6'6". Of course, he's in great shape. Had a big smile on his face. Fun to talk to him.
He's having a really sensational rookie year. Here's 3rd and 9. Newton throws off his back foot. And there is Benjamin with the catch for the first down.
Well, you can't teach it. That's how big he is. And what a throw by Cam Newton. Running to his right. Catches it both feet down cleanly. I heard Deion Sanders say in the pregame show, and correctly so, Cam Newton, when he misses high. So that's a good thing when you got a receiver this big.
Like you said, it's every bit of 6'6".
He fits this offense. Why? They want to run the ball. They want to be physical. And they're not like rinky-dinky and throwing short passes when they throw it. They like to get it down the field.
First down. And that's Jonathan Stewart for 2 into the arms of Lofton. Look at some of these rookies this year. It's been quite a rookie class. Brandon Cooks has the most catches for the rookie class. Benjamin, there he is with Sammy Watkins, just 2 behind, but he's second to Sammy Watkins, is Benjamin, in receiving yardage. On pace for about a 1,100-yard season as Newton's going down the field. Ball's up in the air and incomplete. Bounced off of Jericho Cotchery, who took quite a hit from Keenan Lewis.
He did. They saw the football, and you said it, Corey White, Keenan Lewis. Cotchery, little seam pass going down the middle, but the football's in the air so long, they're able to react to it. And that's right, Keenan Lewis is the one that knocks it loose.
Keenan Lewis was Cotchery's old teammate with the Steelers. They both left Pittsburgh via the free agency route. Cotchery was holding his back after that hit by Lewis.
Carolina's taking some shots. That'll make you back up. They're throwing so many down the field.
3rd and 7. And whistle first.
Carolina takes its first timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So timeout by the Panthers, called from the sideline just before the snap. And we saw Greg Olsen catch a pass on the first series, one of the best tight ends in the business. We've got him mic'd tonight, and let's listen into some of his early comments.
Come on, guys, we got to get a little more. No, stay on him. Stay on him. Stay on him.
I love that moment. That's a good one to catch. He's talking to Paku, the rookie left tackle, coaching him up a little bit. Of course, Olsen, the son of a high school coach.
Oh, yes. His father was a extremely successful Northern New Jersey high school football coach, won many state championships.
Let's see the play out of the timeout. 3rd and 7. It's a throwaway over the head of Cotchery. And they're going to punt it.
He could have thrown the football short, maybe not get the first down, but get him close enough for a field goal. But, you know, sometimes, and it is a young quarterback with a great arm, which Cam Newton has, you look down the field and just think you can make that throw.
Cooks with a fair catch on the first punt at about the 10. And Nortman will just try to pooch it again. Takes something off of it, and another fair catch signal. Nortman get the job done both occasions. 31 yards is all he needed. All 4 drives in this first quarter have crossed midfield, but no points. We're back in Carolina. Ricky Williams retired in the prime of his career, then he came back, and now he reveals the inspiration behind his return. Watch an all-new Football Life. A Football Life tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. You see Newton on the bench. We believe he bit his tongue.
Yeah.
Saw him spitting up earlier.
That's what it looks like. Ken Dorsey, quarterback coach, with him.
And the Saints go with Ingram for the 8th time here in this quarter. 8 carries for 34 yards. That was good for 3.
get underneath that chin or whatever, you're going to bite your tongue.
Two minutes to go here in the first quarter. Saints have already put up 108 total yards, as Ingram's got another 4, but they've turned it over twice. A couple of really bizarre giveaways. Both of them a little bit unlucky the way the ball bounced on those two giveaways. One off the fullback and the pass that bounced off the shoulder pads of the Saint receiver.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, New Orleans.
By the way, the penalty on Ely, who wasn't out for long. We saw him go down earlier. The rookie is back in there and just got penalized.
Well, Jim, you talked about those turnovers. The one of them happened because they put a running back and tight end on Charles Johnson. The one thing that Carolina wants to do on the defensive side, of course, they want to pressure the quarterback, and they need to do it inside instead of outside.
Oh, beautiful blitz pickup, but look who gets right back on his feet to finish the deal. It's Colin Jones. Ingram put the block on him, but Jones got up in a hurry and still got the breeze.
Well, that's good hustle. And why does he have that second chance? The coverage was good down the field. So that time, Carolina mixes it up. You just can't sit back there in zone when you play the New Orleans Saints. As I said earlier, their offense is designed just to beat up zones. In other words, if you see a zone defense, Sean Payton expects the quarterback to complete 90% of his passes. That tells you what they think.
Colin Jones getting more action tonight because Thomas Deku is inactive with a hamstring. And the Saints were in danger of a delay of game. Call a timeout to beat it. Tonight's cable cam is being presented by Mazda. Saints had not committed a turnover in the first quarter this season. They got 2 tonight.
Good coverage, and then a pass protection I think they might think twice about as this game goes along. Trying to really sell the run action, and you get a running back on Charles Johnson backfired.
Coming out of a New Orleans timeout with a 2nd and 16. And Breeze throwing sideline incomplete. Looking for Kenny Stills, and Josh Norman made a fired-up play.
That's what you do. You win the physical battle. That time the receiver's open, but Josh Norman sees it, drives through, knocks the football loose, and it wouldn't have counted if he held on because he couldn't get those feet down.
That's a smart thing, too. You coach it these days since they changed the rule a few years back. You go ahead and just drive the guy once he's up in the air.
Yep. Just
push him out of bounds. Try to create some air for a while. 3rd and 16, and Breeze dumps it off to Graham. And Jimmy Graham takes a hard collision by Thomas Davis, who had a hit on him earlier in this quarter.
Yep, Thomas Davis. You know, listen, this New Orleans Saints team, we talked about in the opening, they wanted a fast start. It was there for them to have it, and they let it get away from them. And this Carolina defense now mixing things up. Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, this game is up top because he says I can see more up there, make better adjustments because they do so many different things on the offensive side.
Time's going to run out here on a scoreless first quarter, and we'll return to Charlotte after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football. We're back for the second quarter here with the Saints and the Panthers. And the Saints about to punt. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, along with Tracy Wolfson, Mike Carey, along for any rules interpretations. Morstead never punted against Green Bay, so it's been a while, and he sends this one 52 yards to Brenton Burson with the fair catch. Let's go back and listen in on Greg Olson.
Guys, we can't get 0 points off turnovers. Favor, let's go. Hey, yo, we We get our shot now. Let's go, right? Let's go, buddy.
So Greg Olson pointing out we've had 2 takeaways and no points produced off of them.
Well, his dad's a great high school coach, or was, and he's falling right in suit. Coach him up. It's what you need. He's one of the leaders of this football team, so show the play on the field. Sometimes you got to talk to guys too.
First down run, D'Angelo Williams. And he's walloped after a 7-yard rush.
Well, you know, so far, Jim, you look at the left side, Norwell and Poku, and they've done a good job. Cam Newton had to get out there one time, and as the game has gone along, they're getting a little tougher, keeping that pocket. There they are. We heard Ron Rivera talk about them, and in one word, they both good athletes, very aggressive. That's a pretty good trait to have as an offensive line. The downside, they're young.
That's Norwell with the long locks. Undrafted rookie out of Ohio State. 2nd and 3, and they run to the other side with a flag out as Williams is near the first down yardage. Brought down by Curtis Lofton.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
And that's on the right tackle, Nate Chandler. D'Angelo Williams was the starter week 1. Jonathan Stewart took over week 2. Williams week 4. Then he had an ankle injury. Williams was out for a while. Darren Reeves has already been cut by the team. Fonzie Whitaker's inactive tonight. And Stewart the last couple of weeks actually played quite well.
You know, as you look at the running backs, talking about the offensive line, and listen, you want to ruin a football team, have a shaky offensive line. That's why it was such a big deal here tonight. Now they got an unbalanced line.
2nd and 13, and Williams met head on by Lofton, who's the top tackler for the Saints, and he's made already several fine plays, a loss of 1.
Well, it's the second time they tried that formation. They threw it down the field with a play action fake the first time, and Rob Ryan not fooled that. From time to time, the Panthers will run an unbalanced line, so everybody, when they come in here, they're going to show it. They make sure you have the right adjustments for it, and the defense for New Orleans does.
Here you see Lofton, his 7th year out of Oklahoma, former Atlanta Falcon. 3rd and 14. Pocket collapses. Newton takes off, and that one juke got him away from Lofton and enabled him to pick up 14 and a first.
Well, they did the right thing. We talked about the offensive line, so look who they have in the backfield. It gives Cam Newton that extra time, and now he can step up. And you said that little dead leg against Lofton is enough to let him scramble for the first down. Now this should slow him down on the pass rush, Jim. It's twice, 3rd downs. You've got exactly what you want. Rush the passer, and you let Cam Newton get out. Scramble for first downs.
They had picked up already in this game first downs on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and 3rd and 13. As Jonathan Stewart gets the edge, and he's got another 10. Greg Olson sealed the side, and Stewart has his 2nd run of the half for at least 10 yards.
Yeah, it's really clever. Greg Olson, 88, is going to go around and seal the block. Little counter. Everybody's thinking, oh, here comes the zone read. They got many run plays. They have as many run plays on this Carolina offense as they have drop back passes. I mean, last week watching them play Seattle, I thought I was watching Auburn in the NFL. They just had people moving, faking, and hey, sometimes you just got to do whatever it is to give yourself a chance to win.
Come back to the near side. About tackled down at the 41 by Corey White. Of course, against Seattle, they never found the end zone, Phil. They haven't had a touchdown in the last 5 quarters. Managing only 3 field goals, losing in the last minute to the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's a good defense, Jim, but they moved the ball up and down the field. The game went quick, long drives by both teams, and they had a fumble down in there, and they just did. The opportunities were there. Let's put it that way, and that's what the NFL is about. Defense, holding the field goals, and you got to find ways to drive it in there once you get inside the 20.
Obadiah's in the backfield along with Williams as Newton flings it. That's intercepted. Intercepted by Corey White off the hands of Britton Burson. And now the Panthers have their first giveaway of the night. 3 possessions, all 3 times they crossed the 50 and have come up empty. This time, in fact, they give the ball away. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Verizon. More live games than ever before with NFL Mobile. And by PapaJohns.com, where there's always better deals on better pizza. And a happy Halloween to all of you.
You know, when you give out candy, when people come to your house, do you like stay behind the door and jump out and scare the poor little kids? Are you one of those?
No, I give a lot of candy away.
Oh, you do? Good.
Yeah. It's Ingram. For about 5. Do you give candy away, or do you make him do the old trick or treat?
I give a lot.
Okay.
But this interception, again, the protection gave him extra time. And Cam Newton, of course, now he threw that 100 miles an hour, but it's not like he doesn't do that in practice every day. And you know what it does? Scoring drive, they had a little momentum. And not only that, the quarterback. Let's watch the cushion he gets. Oh, good stop. But, you know, it kind of takes the mojo sometimes away from the quarterback. You feel good. He's scrambled. He's making some good throws. Now you got to restart that engine.
It's the 5th straight game Newton's thrown an interception. It's the longest streak of his career. And all of tonight's giveaways have happened on the opponent's side of the field. Another timeout called by the Saints is the second one they've had to use.
Well, because, you know, the Saints, as you're watching Drew Brees, they are famous for coming up there and got one play, change it to another. I mean, Sean Payton even says he has to have people tell him what plays he's called because they change them so much.
Well, Sean Payton, as you said at the top, he wanted the football after winning the toss. He wanted this fast start. Boy, did he have the numbers for us when we met with him this week. He had everything, and a lot of it got down, when you boil it down, to first quarter. Get off to this electrifying start, and he was absolutely certain he was going to get it.
Well, get the game in your control, you know, so you can manage it the way you want, get your players confidence. Of course, that's what happens when you get on top. Hey, even this week, he bought them new sweatsuits, and Drew Brees told us he does those things just to kind of lighten the mood, keep people in good spirits. I saw them when they were walking in, and the sweatsuits, they look pretty good.
They're on 2nd and 7. It's Cadet. And he is dropped for about a 3-yard loss. Luke Kuechly, as you can hear the crowd calling out for him, is the one who stunted that play.
Well, he said last week, I didn't get enough action against the Seattle Seahawks. I can't imagine a middle linebacker not getting enough action, but he is remarkable how he can get around people. And, of course, the middle linebacker is all about just hitting people. He is smart. That helps him get there a little quicker.
Here's the 3rd and 9. And again, a big punishing hit. It's Harper on his old teammate Benjamin Watson.
Pressure up the middle that time. Kuechly makes him throw it before he's ready, because if he could have waited, we saw Marcus Colston coming wide open over the middle of the field. So once again, pressure in the middle on Drew Brees.
So the Saints unable to take advantage of the turnover, or the takeaway. A 3 and out for them, and Morstead punting for the 2nd time in this quarter. And the fair catch by Burson at the 18. 49-yard punt. We are scoreless as we approach the midway point of the 2nd quarter. Still, when you look at Cam Newton after being the first overall pick in 2011, the arc of his professional career, early people were questioning leadership, and that whole rap went away as last year they won 12 games.
Yeah, that 12 games they won last year, getting to the playoffs, and he came through so many times in the clutch for him. And like I've said a couple times, this is not an easy offense on a quarterback, even if you have the talent and size of Cam Newton.
1st and 10. And D'Angelo Williams tries to squirm free, but unable to get away from that Saints defense. There is a flag down. Kelly was the one who tackled him. We don't meet with the Panthers that often.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense, number 98. The 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
When you talk to Cam, though, you really get a sense of this young man and the way he goes through the process of thinking about where everyone is on the field. It's impressive. Talking about guys like Greg Olsen breaking down a game for us.
Yeah, I mean, he does. Listen, the coaching staff says nothing but good things about him. And most of the time, listen, they could say whatever because we're off the record with them. But Cam Newton, the thing I liked about him when talking to us, Jim, he took blame for the Seattle game right first and foremost, right up front. Said, my fault. I like that in the quarterback.
First down carry. And this time Jonathan Stewart is stopped for a loss. And now the Saints are starting to break across that line. That's back-to-back times that they've made tackles like that. That's a loss of 3. Hicks.
Listen, they went to the sideline, and I'm sure the coaches are going, what are you kidding me? We're playing against the backup offensive line. We should be getting to the quarterback and destroying the runs. And that time they're all in the backfield. Akeem Hicks, man, he can do everything. He can stop the run, push the pocket.
Of course, that Khalil at center, Ryan Khalil, he's made the Pro Bowl a number of times in his career. He's the one real veteran for the Panthers on that line as Newton was hit when he threw it. And alas, the errant pass that was intended for Olsen and Corey White was in position to have his second theft of the quarter.
Yeah, as I watch this, though, too, yeah, it's Thursday. I mean, he is hyped up, Cam Newton. He is firing this football. This is just too hard. And Greg Olsen turns around. That thing went by his face so fast, all he did was hear it. You see their possessions did nothing with the turnovers, but probably the one thing I put in my notes, he needs to learn to throw the football with a little more touch.
3rd and 13. And he's got the hookup, but it's short of the first. It's Olsen for 10. And the Saints gave it to him underneath, about 3 yards shy of first. Nortman, after a couple of pooch punts in the first quarter now, he can let this one rip. He's second in the NFL in punt average. Averaging 48.3 yards a punt. This one's not a deep one, though. Cook steps up. Fair catch. 35 yards on the punt. Good starting point coming up for Breeze and the Saints. As again, we wait for someone to put points on the board here in Charlotte. It has been a hard-hitting night in the Tar Heel State, and this Carolina defense coming off a pretty impressive showing against Seattle, even though they lost. In 5 previous games, they'd averaged giving up over 30 a game. Here, though, they allow a wide-open Kenny Stills to put the Saints on the Panthers side of the field. 16-yard pass play.
Good job going down, securing the catch. Definitely in bounds. Knees are down. That play's kind of been there for this offense. That was a good play action fake. Drew Brees, they love it. You know, you want to stop him from having that room in front of him so he can make that hit step. When he makes a good hit step, he's going to be right on target with the ball.
It's Ingram. Look at that cut to the outside, but the short side, there's just nothing there. And again, Norman, the corner on that side, helped shut it down. Look at these hits by Thomas Davis. Graham again. Their helmets got locked up here, and then the next one on Watson.
Well, Thomas Davis, along with Luke Kuechly, fast. They can diagnose plays. They have experience. And that speed has been shown here tonight.
2nd and 10, and it's Ingram. And Kuechly's over there. Next week, Thursday Night Football showcases an AFC North rivalry as we're heading to Cincinnati. The Browns take on the Bengals next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on the NFL Network. While no one is even 500 in the NFC South we're watching tonight, they're all below it. Everyone is above it in the AFC North. What a contrast. 3rd and 8. Ball is caught by Cadet, but he stopped right away. Dockery.
Boy, another good job. They just drop back. They watch the quarterback. Watch them. They're looking, and then once he moves, watch him attack. Everybody in good position. That way you can't catch the football short and gain those extra yards for a first down.
By the way, we were looking at those standings, the contrast between the AFC North and right here, the NFC South. They're playing these divisions are playing one another so far, and only one time has a win gone to anyone on the NFC side in the crossover matchup between conferences. And that's a beautiful punt by Morstead, 37 yards, downing it inside the 10. Just 4:21 to go in the second quarter. There you see the Richardsons. Jerry Richardson, the owner and founder of the NFL's 29th franchise, founded in '93. They began play in '95. They became the first ex-NFL player since George Halas to own a team in the league.
Hey, Leo.
Took some playoff money when he played for the Baltimore Colts and did a good job investing, I would say.
First down throw and incomplete. Looking for Benjamin at the last minute. Lewis got a hand in there. It all happened right in front of Rob Ryan.
Well, that fits in right to what they've been trying to do today. Benjamin, the last play. Here it was early in the game. The opportunities have been there. And Jericho Cottrey down the middle. This had it. Cam Newton kind of threw it a little high. If he'd have drove it in there, they'd have had a big play. Keenan Lewis, the best corner on the Saints defense, all over it. Good job of looking back.
Again, they were targeting Kelvin Benjamin. We got a timeout called by Carolina, leaving the Panthers with one. We were just talking about Jerry Richardson, former player who would go on to become an owner, and he was a wide receiver back in his day. Little throwback Thursday for you.
Yeah, how about that?
Let's go to the 1959 NFL Championship. That's Pat Summerall kicking that through. And here he caught the touchdown pass from Johnny Unitas in that championship game as the Colts won it.
Weeb Eubank was the head coach. Jerry Richardson took the play into Johnny Unitas, and the play was, coach said throw a touchdown. And so Johnny called the play.
2nd and 10 running play, and again the Saints have stacked up the line. Jonathan Stewart, no gain.
Well, really big situation for Carolina's offense right here. 3rd and long, time, field position. Cam Newton has been getting pretty good protection. Haven't seen much. I expected on 3rd downs like this, obvious passing situation, that maybe New Orleans would blitz. That way they can't double team any of the pass rushers, and they can keep Cam Newton in the pocket.
Good down for him here. The Saints pen deep after the Morstead punt. And Newton, the ball comes out. He got hit from behind. He got hit by Junior Gillette. And in the end, they say it belongs to the Saints. Even though Newton has the football in his hands.
Yeah, but I think Gillette got up with the football.
It's a fumble and recovery by New Orleans. First down and goal.
That will be replayed and looked at. Just good hustle that time. Gillette is blocked, comes all the way around and knocks it out.
See, Brandon Dederick, the former Patriot and former Jaguar, was trying to come up with it for the Saints.
Yeah, I said Gillette. It couldn't be. He was still standing up.
Lofton also jumped into the pile at the last moment. So it looked like Cam didn't even see Gillette. Ball is still unclaimed at this point.
Still back in the back of the pack.
It's Lofton who comes in and takes it.
Here it was.
And it's been, the recovery has been confirmed. So here come the Saints with Ingram moving the pile to just inside the 2.
Well, good job by Drew Brees. Went with a really quick snap count, trying to catch the defense before they were ready. Now New Orleans, the run game last week against Green Bay was terrific. But there are not many plays or teams in football, Jim, that have more things to draw from inside the 10 than the Saints.
They got 3 tight ends plus the fullback, Lorig. And there's Jimmy Graham sent wide to the right, 2nd and goal. And they're going to go with Ingram again. And he reaches out, and he's got the touchdown.
Run the football. Jari Evans gets a good block. Zach Streif. And then Ben Grubbs pulls around. Looks like he's in the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, Ingram just went right over Grubbs to find the goal line.
Yep, what a block. Ben Grubbs, left guard, pulls around. They wiped it down, and he kicked it out. Ingram scores a touchdown. You talk about people getting ready for Thursday night. Ingram, after that game Sunday night against Green Bay, all those runs and hits. Maybe hardest for a running back to do that than anybody else in football.
And Shane Graham adds the extra point. So after 4 turnovers in this game, 2 each side, and 27 plus minutes of action, we finally have some points. Newton gets hit, coughs it up. Lofton recovered for New Orleans. 2 plays later, Ingram takes it across from 3 yards out.
There's Grubbs kicking out Boston to safety. You know, running backs, just talking to everybody about Mark Ingram. Running backs like receivers, anybody. It's like golf. Hit some shots. The more you hit, the better you get. And that's what happens with, sometimes you play, Jim, 3 and 4 running backs, which the Saints can do. Hard to get that rhythm in the field that you need to really make it happen sometimes on the field.
The Saints tonight without Kyrie Robinson. He is out again because of an injury, as well as Pierre Thomas, but Mark Ingram's getting it done as he did last week, and he looks like a different guy now in his 4th year, the former Heisman winner out of Alabama.
Well, running the football in the pros, of course, is a lot different than college football, especially Alabama just runs it over you. And in the pros, it's a different style. He trimmed up, looks quicker, and now is adapting very well.
Here's Morstead, who had 8 for 8 in touchbacks delivered last week, and he's got one here in his first kickoff of the night. So each side turns it over twice. The Panthers never took advantage of their 2. The interception and then the fumble that was knocked out of the hands of Brees by his fullback. Saints failed to deliver off of their pick, but this time, given just a 4-yard field to work with, they cashed in and got the game's first points. Here's Newton, more pressure, and he is taken down at the 8-yard line by Cameron Jordan along with Junior Gillette.
Yeah, that time, Boku, the left tackle, watch up top, just gets pushed back And then Cam Newton nowhere to step. And then Cameron Jordan from the other side takes him down. Junior Gillette, he's so fast. You got to worry about him running around you. Then when you guess wrong, he can run over you.
Boy, did he push that pocket back. Talking about the way that.
Well, that was a good timeout by the Saints.
So the Saints with 2:06 stop it. But the way you saw Faku, the left tackle, just push right back into his quarterback to help create that sack. Let's go back to listening to Greg Olson, who's mic'd tonight for us.
Hey, we got to stop here. We go down and score, and we get the ball. This is big. Come on.
Well, he's saying the right things. This offensive line, it struggled at the end of the game last week. Couldn't mount a drive to have a chance to win the game.
2:13 now on the clock on this 2nd and 19, and it's almost intercepted. That was Patrick Robinson, who jumped up into the air and knocked it away. Avant was the intended receiver.
He's the extra defensive back. Boy, nice job of letting the receiver go, then reading the quarterback. But they did the right thing. Carolina's got to be very careful, keep people in the backfield to help these linemen out. They've done it. And when they do it, it's worked. That last play, Cam Newton had time to throw it.
I tell you,
Greg Olson was in the backfield.
Putting that extra time on the clock a moment ago enables the Saints here to maybe save them a timeout, as Benjamin is going to be a good 12 yards short of the first. It had been at 2:06 when the Saints called the timeout, but they actually went back and made it 2:13. An incompletion. This saves the Saints a timeout. 2-minute warning.
I would have thought about running that football on that second down.
Dortmund's in to punt. Again, the Saints don't have any timeouts, but they were saved basically a timeout by the 2-minute warning after the clock had been reset.
Well, that's what confuses. I thought there was 2:06 to go on second down. Instead, I think it was 2:13. They moved the clock. Never heard a word from anybody.
Rivera spent a lot of that 2-minute warning trying to talk to the officials about the handling of that, as Cooks is out to about the 36. Brought down by Colin Jones. Yeah, you were making the point that had it been 2:06, it probably affected the Saints or the Panthers play call.
That's what we'd like to know.
A pass play would have brought them to the 2-minute warning, and then you run it on 3rd and forever.
Yep.
Because it was 3rd and 19, as it turns out, and you probably get 40 seconds run off the clock.
Illegal use of hands to the face on the return team number 20. Penalties 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down, New Orleans.
Saved the Saints in the end about 40 seconds, Phil.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So watch, here comes. We were told timeout, and the game clock stopped at 2:06, and you look up when the ball is snapped coming out of that timeout by New Orleans. They reset it by 7 seconds.
Huge, and I wonder, did the Carolina Panthers see the reset of the time? Because that would affect what you call on the offensive side.
If they had seen the reset, you believe
they would have run the football.
They would have run the football instead of attempting a pass. That's the point. And the Saints would have been getting the football here with about 110, 115.
40 seconds left. 40 seconds left somewhere.
Stills unable to hold on to it. That penalty, by the way, on special teams just cost New Orleans 21 yards. At the half, a one-on-one interview with Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett, plus first half highlights. Alexa's halftime report live on NFL Network.
Well, both teams are going to go in there at halftime after this is over and just go, wow, did we let a lot of opportunities get away from us? Of course, Carolina needs to find a way to stop Drew Brees in the 2 minutes.
Here they come blitzing, and Brees just throws it incomplete. There's the flag for grounding coming out. It was Trey Boston who blitzed from the secondary for Carolina.
Yep, and they actually told him 2 minutes, he's going to look for a quick pass, and they love screens to get it going. So they were ready for that screen, and the timing of the blitz by Trey Boston was perfect.
Was Cadet somewhat in the area there on the Breeze pass?
I was too busy watching the blitz.
There is no foul for intentional grounding on the play. Number 39 of the offensive team was in the area. Brings up third down.
That's exactly what they saw after conferring. Cadet was close enough to pick up the flag.
Here he is in the backfield. Drew Brees, there's the blitz. Perfect. And yes, that's pretty close.
And look at Jones.
I mean, I wouldn't give that to you if it was golf, but that far away, but football is different.
Well, you saw Boston coming in on Brees. Here's a 3rd and 10. And the Saints, now they're in business with 1:35 to go in the half. That Stills with the reception. And that is a crucial first down because the Panthers would have been a setup with presumably a short field. Meanwhile, you got New Orleans having taken the football at the start. Carolina will be getting the second half kickoff. There is Stills for another catch near the first. They're going to give it to him. Gain of 10.
Well, Antoine Cason backing off, respecting the speed of Stills. And Drew Brees, that's a pre-snap read. In other words, he knows before the football is snapped that who he's going to throw it to.
They actually didn't give him the first. They gave him 9, 2nd and 1, but they've got the first now with Jimmy Graham and his 4th catch of the night.
Well, good job by Drew Brees. A blitz coming from the left. They couldn't pick it up. Just rolls out casually and makes the completion.
Graham 4 catches for 49 yards. First down for the Saints, middle of the field, and on target again for 8 more to Marcus Colston.
And, you know, I would not be afraid on the defensive side here to take a timeout, you know, when it's appropriate, because you're tired, you can't get to the quarterback, except when you blitz.
Here's Cadet. Cadet breaks through into the secondary, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 25. He got a block over there by the wideout, Brandon Cooks. Picks up 21.
Well, here comes the blitz. They got the perfect call on. Ben Grubbs gets outside, gets the block, and Cadet, the receiving running back in a game like this. Good hands. Excellent call.
Cadet from Appalachian State right here in North Carolina. First down. Brees lost the football again. But Brees has it back.
Well, the clock is moving. What a job by Wes Horton. Got through there and knocked it loose. Not known as a pass rusher.
Again with no timeouts, 15 seconds. And that will stop it right there.
Well, number 96. Horton gets in there. Boy, reaches that hand there. Drew Brees fortunate, and he did have both hands on the football, but still got it knocked out.
From here, a field goal, if they fail to pick up anything, would be about 51 yards for Shane Graham, whose career long is 53. Saints have to work that sideline or go for it all. That's what they're doing. They're going for it all, and it's incomplete, but a flag is thrown. Cason's going to be called for it. Robert Meacham was there trying to haul in the Brees throw.
Pass interference. Defense, number 20. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball he placed at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
Well, you wouldn't think in a situation like that somebody's going to run this deep route. You think, hey, they're going to break it outside. Sean Payton, Drew Brees. They catch them off guard, and they can't defend the pass. You got to look at this. This could be one chance. I would think it's going to be a throw.
But they line up.
And it will give you time for a field goal if you don't get it here.
They line up tight. They're going to throw. They're going to Graham, and he's got the catch for the touchdown. Jimmy Graham, one-on-one, and he'll win it almost every time.
Yeah, they condensed the formation. That way they can really single out Jimmy Graham. So just nothing you could do. We saw a back shoulder throw early in the game, and that's really what that is that time. Melvin White just doesn't have time to react to it. A quick throw, right on target.
The Saints go 85 yards in 1 minute and 46 seconds with no timeouts to work with. And with 3 seconds to go in the intermission, a game that was scoreless for 27.5 minutes is suddenly 14-0.
Well, it's good coverage. You know, listen, there's just not much you can do. Melvin White never saw the football. But you know what happens? You let the drive get started. You get tired. You can't get to the quarterback. And you play, you know, they played very safe at first. And it let the Saints offense get their rhythm. But the big one, the pass interference in the end zone, that was some call that caught everybody off guard. I mean, Drew Brees has done that so many times. No timeouts, but you look at the plays, the pass interference and the screens. The Saints are one of the best screen teams in the NFL. They do it every game, probably a minimum of 5 times. They're good at it, and it gives them easy drive starters. Gives everybody confidence.
That was Peyton over there having a physical congratulatory moment with Jimmy Graham. You know, the big play, too, for the Saints was they had a 3rd and long back near their own 10-yard line after a penalty on the punt, and they were able to connect to Kenny Stills to get that drive really going.
That's right.
Hear a few boos here in Charlotte as the Saints kick it up a notch. And what were some of the key moments you thought in that first half?
Well, the interception by Cam Newton where Burson dropped the football where they're driving to score. A lot of key moments. Both teams had turnovers, but the tide turned against the Carolina offensive line at the end of the first half. The defensive line of the New Orleans Saints started getting it done. So when you look at this second half, Carolina's got to have some answers to help out their offensive line and maybe be a little more methodical. You know, I heard Bill Cowher and them at halftime saying more plays down the field. But when you miss them, it puts you in such obvious passing situations, it's just hard to protect Cam Newton like that.
The Saints allowed only 89 first half yards by the Panthers, and that's the fewest that Saints defense has allowed in a first half in 5 years. As Morstead going to have a kick returned. It's Burson a yard shy of the 20. Let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks, Jim. I spoke with both coaches at halftime. Ron Rivera frustrated with that final drive. He said there has just been so many calls in that drive, and we got none of those calls. And as for Cam Newton, he said he's throwing the ball just too high. He'd like to see him bring it down. As for Sean Payton, he told me ball security is going to be key in the second half. He doesn't know why it's slipping out of receivers' hands. He said it's a little dewy, but that's not an excuse. It's more mental than physical, guys, right now. Bye.
Thank you, Tracy. The Saints surviving 2 giveaways in that first quarter. And here's Newton dumping it to D'Angelo Williams. Look at this cutback. Look at him go. D'Angelo Williams giving the Panthers the spark they needed coming out of the locker room.
Look, they're a good screen team. They throw a lot of them, so this is what you need to do to take the pressure off the offensive line. Nice job, sell it. Hey, the defensive line, what were they thinking at halftime? We are getting to the quarterback. So they sell out. Nobody is there to hustle back and stop the screenplay.
D'Angelo's had some of his biggest games in his career against New Orleans. 3 of his top 6 rushing efforts have come against the Saints, but they've all been down at the Superdome. None of them here, including his career day of 210. Stewart's the running back here, and Stewart shakes off an early hit and give him 5. In that first half, again, the Panthers held under 90 yards. And each team turning it over twice. Saints in the first quarter, Panthers twice in quarter number 2.
Carolina offense now, you talk about them. The screenplay, Cam Newton running, the throws down the field. They make a lot of big plays. 7th in the NFL.
2nd and 5, and it's Stewart. Goes underneath, and it looks like he's got a first down. D'Angelo Williams a couple of plays ago producing the longest play of the night for either side, 30 yards.
Yeah, let's look at it. The distance covered to pick up that yardage. Can't miss him. I could see the red hair from way up here. But fresh legs, you can see that. They know 65 yards. He's explosive, knows the offense well. Great to have him back in the lineup.
5 minutes. That's your option. 5 minutes.
On first down, Newton over the head of Ed Dixon, the former Raven tight end. This overthrowing his receivers that Tracy reported from Ron Rivera. You saw a lot of that yourself in the first half.
Well, I did, and I noticed that's the one bugaboo that he has. He throws the ball so hard, there's just so little room for error. Just like that last throw. It was beautiful, perfect spiral, plenty of power, but the receivers have so little time to adjust to make the big catches, and again, it has to be right on target because of the speed of the throw.
Here's a 2nd and 10, and it is Newton carrying it with about a yard of the first.
Yeah, he's been waiting to carry this thing. Look, for him, Cam Newton, this really gets him going and gets him in the flow of the game. Watch outside. There goes the lead in. And Cam Newton says he always knows the situation, and I think he knew right there, Jim, when to get down, when to go for the extra yards. This is the big first down. That's why he took the hit or delivered the hit.
Yeah, I think he delivered it on Raphael Bush.
Well, if he's not, I'd say he's the biggest quarterback in the NFL. So that's a tough tackle for anybody.
3rd and 1. And again, it's Newton. He's got Olsen in front of him. Olsen turned around, and the defender had already slipped by him. It was Lewis.
If it was just a little quicker, Jim, it might have been a touchdown. Watch Olsen on the left side. He's looking for the pass. If he turns and makes that block against Keenan Lewis, he's going all the way.
Well, look at Newton, though, holding his left wrist. After getting tackled here, the carry for 9. Williams has the big 30-yard play that ignited this opening drive of the second half, but he has only 6 carries for 11 yards tonight. This is the play that he ran, and I noticed right away he landed on that left wrist.
Braced his hand on the ground, watch his hand hit, and bends it back. Well, that'll be, he tells the official, he goes, I'm okay. This is another part of the body that's going to be sore tomorrow.
This is the deepest drive of the night for Carolina. Play action, and Newton. Ball is tipped incomplete. A flag. Going to be called on Bush, who was defending Kelvin Benjamin.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down, Carolina.
Raphael Bush, the safety, got the arm around him. Yes, definitely moving the receiver before the football gets there.
First and goal to go for the Panthers.
Deuce. Easy. Hey, Randy. Randy. Sit.
Here's Newton in the direction of Benjamin, who was well covered by Lewis.
Yeah,
look at this after the play.
Yeah, just not well coordinated. I really did. Keenan Lewis matchup. He's a veteran, knows how to do this. He was all over the fade that time where he just runs in the end zone. Well, overtime, this throw here should have been a hard shot to the back shoulder of Kelvin Benjamin where he could turn into the corner of the end zone and make that catch.
2nd and goal.
Gotta learn that.
Stepping up, firing in. Benjamin should have had it.
Good change up that time. It's not just going out. Outside technique, fights across. And you're right, should have had it. Into the body. Good job by Cam Newton standing in the pocket with pressure around him.
So he has targeted Benjamin on the first 2 downs of this goal-to-go situation. Here's 3rd and goal. Watch Olsen lined up a slot to the right. Newton spins away. He's got open space. Reaches for the pylon, and it's a touchdown.
What a play. The blitz was going to get there. Here it comes off the right. He sees it, spins out of it. Junior Gillette loses contain. And lets him get out one more time for a big run. And he's in.
Watch his right knee that touches out of bounds, but I believe the pylon, there's contact there first. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Mazda and the Mazda 6. And by McDonald's, official sponsor of the NFL. I'm loving it. Let's see if this touchdown's confirmed.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback extended the ball across the goal line. The result of the play is confirmed. It was a touchdown.
4th time tonight that Cam converted on a 3rd down situation by rushing, including 2 on that drive. Mike Carey's in the booth. And Mike, how did you see it?
We have a good confirmation here. The ball is extended past the goal line at the time the right knee hits. You notice the coordination between both officials, one on the goal line and one looking for the out-of-bounds spot.
Extra point by Gano is good. So Newton leads the team in rushing. Big momentum change to start the second half after the Saints had that 14-point rally at the end of the first half. Panthers on the board. The drive starter for them was the 30-yard cutback catch and run out by D'Angelo Williams. It eventually led to 3rd and goal from the 10, and Cam Newton taking it home.
Well, you think, as you watch Cam Newton scramble out of the pocket a few times and he makes these runs, you know that's all they talk about on the New Orleans sidelines. But as much as they play, I think you always get caught by surprise. The speed and the quickness he can get it done with.
The nose kick will not be returned. And we'll see the Saints offense for the first time in the second half.
Well, Jim, let's go back and look at that last drive. It was a terrific drive by Cam Newton, the zone read. Rob Ryan says, hey, we're ready for it. Sometimes it's just the guy that runs it is too good. The keeper and then the blitz that they could not pick up. They scramble to get on 3rd down for a touchdown.
Almost producing as much yardage on that first drive of the 3rd quarter as they did the entire first half. Here come the Saints now with Ingram. Met a yard behind the line. And again, first place in the NFC South is at stake here. A division that has never seen a repeat winner since the division was formed in 2002. And how about this? The 4 teams in that division, again, it started in 2002. They've all won the division 3 times each. Last year it belonged to the Panthers. Last won by the Saints in 2011. We face second and 11 as Ingram cannot shake free. That's Melvin White. Ends the run after a gain of 3. And again, the oddity, all 4 teams here at the midway point of the season, under 500.
Well, the corners tonight for the Carolina Panthers have done a very good job of tackling the running backs when they bounce outside, and it puts the Saints in a 3rd and long.
3rd and 9, and they convert. They convert with Brandon Cooks. The former Bolitnikoff Award winner out of Oregon State, taken in the 1st round this spring.
Well, just goes down the field, and he just waits to the last second, almost like we see Antonio Gates, Jim. He just waits. He sees the outside receiver clear. He sees him out of the corner of his eye. He breaks, and the timing was perfect between Cooks and Drew Brees.
And it picked up 15.
Love that play. Everybody tries to run it now.
1st down. It Stills on the left sideline in front of Melvin White, and another New Orleans first. 18 gain.
Well, just 0 pressure on the quarterback. That's the big story there when you see these throws. Plenty of room for Drew Brees, and just rolls right into it. Stills. Before the game, they were working on an exact route. I saw Drew Brees throw it about 20 times, and of course he hit all 20.
Saints have had 10 plays tonight that have gone for at least 15 yards. And on 1st down, Ingram, as Grubbs tries to help things out and kind of throw his teammate for another yard. Give him 5. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, Jim, Mark Ingram not playing at 100% right now. He hurt that right shoulder in the 1st half, came out of the locker room. As you can see right now, he's playing with a sleeve on it, something to keep an eye on.
Well, Ingram, who has battled injury issues already this year that kept him out of action for a while. We've got a Saint player down, and we'll step aside here from Charlotte for a moment. With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon and primetime games, NFL Network and NFL Red Zone right on your mobile device. Download today or learn more at NFL.com/mobile. It was Streif who was injured, the right tackle. This is Ingram taking the pass for a gain of about 10.
Well, when you know an offense inside out, which Drew Brees does with this one here, working so long with Sean Payton, watch from behind the quarterback. Wants to throw it over the middle to number 12, Colston. Doesn't like it, swings it out, pick up the 1st down.
So Zach Streif was the Saint injured when we stepped away for the break. He's been replaced by Bryce Harris at right tackle. 3rd-year man out of Fresno State. And Brees on 1st down. Steps away from the hit, and the Panthers say we want grounding, but he was out of the box.
Little game on the outside allowed him to get in there. Coney Ely is the one that knocks him down.
After missing 2 snaps, Streif has returned to the field at right tackle for New Orleans, and it's 2nd and 10.
I thought that was a generous call, saying he was outside the pocket.
Here's Brees. He was looking long, and now will scramble for 4 or 5.
Well, protection's great at that time. Plenty of time. Was there anybody look open down the field? And the answer is no. Well covered that time by the Saints. Thomas Davis all over Jimmy Graham. You know, when they really play pressure man coverage, which they haven't done much tonight, they've done very well. When they back off, Drew Brees picks them apart.
3rd and 7. Stills. He's got the first down. Stills appears to be shaken up.
Well, they're reacting. And that's, that time. Stills, the protection, runs a route, is going to come inside to the left, going to come in and then go back out. Stills from Oklahoma, speed, can run. Jimmy Graham, Kenny Stills, a big receiver, Marcus Colston, and of course, Brandon Cooks, the rookie with a lot of speed, has changed the look of the Saints offense as far as diagramming the plays and what they try to do.
First down. Ingram to the 3. Benjamin Watson helped blow open a hole for him for 12.
Just really well done. They do it. Quick snap by Drew Brees. That's what you do as a veteran quarterback, managing so many things. But the snap count is one important thing.
First and goal. Ingram. He's already been across once tonight, and he's about a yard shy, inside of a yard.
Going over there behind Ben Grubbs. Guard from the Baltimore Ravens, big and strong. And Sean Payton says when we run the football, that's when we are the best, like any team.
It's Ingram trying to go in sideways. And the signal is no, he did not cross. Third and goal to go from just inside the 1. That was the 20th carry of the game for Ingram.
Well, inside the 1, if you run it and don't get it, I think they would go for it on 4th down.
Again, going with the triple tight information. They fake to Ingram. Up top they go, and it's caught, but he's out of bounds. Josh Hill, who caught one for a score against the Packers on Sunday night.
Well, he doesn't get his feet down, but they throw the football here, hoping to catch the defense by surprise, because Sean Payton knew it was inside the 1, and they were going to go for it on 4th down if they didn't get it.
Now the Saints offense is huddled out on the field with 4th.
I think this is the right call, too. I would go for it here. Get momentum back on your side.
It's Brees trying to go up and over, and he's got the touchdown.
Sean Payton was almost down there in the line of scrimmage watching this. I would think this is a call that Drew Brees has to make himself, and he is definitely over the end zone line for a touchdown. People don't realize how good of an athlete he is, Jim. We know he can play every sport, play him well. Big hands, able to hold on to the football when he jumps over the top.
His first rushing touchdown of the season. The Saints run the gamble on 4th and goal, and they're rewarded. An extra point by Graham is good. The last 3 times the Saints have had the football, they have put up touchdowns. Brees with a touchdown pass earlier in this game now has one himself. Tonight's cable cam is being presented by Mazda. Each quarterback has run for a score in this quarter. Each team has had it once, both putting together long drives. The Saints just went 80 yards in 14 plays. Took them over 6 minutes. There's Morstead. Have this one run back by Joe Webb, the 13 quarterback. And he's unable to break free from Patrick Robinson.
Great job, guys.
Well, Phil, the Saints' woes on the road go back to last November. Now, we will say, of course, they did win a postseason game at Philadelphia, but regular season, they've lost the last 7.
Yep, they've lost some real close games, last drives. They've actually made mistakes late in games to cost them some road games. But when you say this, when you go on the road to win in the NFL, you like to think you can go 500 when you're a good football team. It's about your defense. It's about being physical. Those things travel well. And sometimes a passing team, if that's what you are, tough to do in an opponent's backyard.
And you saw they've won their last 11 at home. They're going home for 3 straight games after this as Newton's pass is complete to Kotchery. He caught it past the first down marker, and he's got 11.
Well, that was some throw, wasn't it? You're flat-footed, and you're looking left, and nobody's open. And he turns all the way to the right side to throw to Jericho Kotchery. But just watch Cam Newton's feet. He wants to throw it to Benjamin on the left side, just stands there, just whips it out there. Wow. Makes a lot of plays that go unnoticed, and you don't give him credit for it.
First down, little sidearm throw, and unable to hold on to it's Ed Dixon.
Yeah, you know, Jim, the transition is just so fast sometimes with Cam Newton. In other words, back and forward, that he can be off target, and that's one of those. It's not the fact that he's off balance. You've got to be able to make that throw easily, but it's just so quick and snappy. It's 6 inches off target. Dixon couldn't come down with it.
2nd and 10. Jonathan Stewart. There's a nice cutback. And Stewart for the 3rd time tonight has a run for over 10 yards. But there's a flag down.
Number 13, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The replay, 2nd down.
Bottom of the screen. Well, he gets his hands outside, grabs the jersey. That is just not going to go unnoticed because we know there's a guy assigned to him, so that's an easy call.
Textbook holding. It's a spot foul. So it will be a 2nd and 7.
3 tight ends to the left.
I like what you heard saying, repeating the down. And Newton's pass almost thrown into the arms of Raphael Bush. There were 3 Saints around Kelvin Benjamin.
Well, let's just look at it and see. You play quarterback. Benjamin at the bottom of the screen. The crosser's underneath. There's where you got to look sometimes. You don't always have to drive it down there. It's, again, physically, great throw. The decision is wrong. Know the situation. Take 6, 7, 8 yards, and now the zone read, short passes, or running game, everything is in play. Now you have to drop back and throw it.
3rd and 7. Benjamin's been held only 2 catches for 18. And that's knocked away by Patrick Robinson. And the Saints will take the Panthers off the field.
Yeah, it was good coverage. Really good all over. Patrick Robinson, the nickel defensive back, number 21. Good position, put his hands on him, didn't turn him. You're allowed to put that hand around the waist. Did not affect the receiver. Really well done.
Newton's only hitting about 30% tonight. He's 7 for 23.
It's been some good coverage, but they've been missing too. Throws and catches.
He's never finished a game under 40%. That's Cooks back at the 10. He's surrounded at the 13. Beautiful 56-yard punt by Nortman. Breeze and the Saints starting to get things cooking. They've scored touchdowns their last 3 drives, up by 14. Thursday Night Football is brought to you by Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Day 0 edition. Available November 3rd, rated mature. A little happy Halloween wishes to all of you from the Thursday Night Football crew as Streif You saw it got some work. Harris has replaced him at the moment. There's Colston wrestled out after 6. Let's go back down to Tracy.
Well, guys, 2 injury reports for the Saints. Kenny Stills went into the locker room. He had his groin taped up. He is back out there. But offensive tackle Zach Streif, he is on the bench right now. He's in a lot of pain. He could hardly walk. They've been rubbing his back. He said that he has spasms. His return right now is unknown. As soon as I get an official word, I'll pass it along to you guys.
Well, Tracy, Bryce Harris is back in for him on that right side, 2nd and 4. And Ingram stuck for no gain.
Well, you know, Jim, you look at a game Thursday night, we talked to the New Orleans Saints. Look, they never run out of plays to run. I want you to look at that sheet Sean Payton has. It takes 2 people to hold it. And I promise you, every one of them on there, they've worked on, they know about. They just have so many different ways and so many plays, and they're all available. We've heard them talk about it many times. So these short weeks are really not a detriment to what they do.
Let's see what they've come up with off the chart for a 3rd and 5. And Breeze is walloped on the incompletion by Charles Johnson.
Well, you got a right tackle in there, Bryce Harris. Did they make a mistake? Because here he comes. The running back's going to come across, which is surprising to block it that way since there's only 4 defensive linemen there. Well, it's a big hit on Drew Brees, and they get the football back, which was the most important thing.
Burson is back deep. Harper is 10 yards in front of him as Morstead sends it in Burson's direction. And the signal for the fair catch after the 49-yard punt. We're in the final minute of the 3rd quarter with the Saints leading Carolina 21-7. Breeze has thrown for 233 yards. He has been sacked 3 times. He's thrown a touchdown to Jimmy Graham, and he's rushed for 1. Meanwhile, Cam Newton, 89 yards passing. And he's rushed for the Panthers' only touch. Out of the gun on 1st down. Down the field they go, and Cotchery has it. Jericho Cotchery is pushed out of bounds at the 22. That's going to be the longest play of the game for either side, 47 yards.
Slot receiver just goes right down the middle. They jump underneath. Nobody looking at the seam pass. Nice adjustment by Cotchery in the air. Takes it over the shoulder and doesn't break stride. That's what's important. Takes advantage of every yard you can get.
Cotchery, the former Steeler who was up at NC State with Phillip Rivers. That was quite a 1-2 combination. And it's day. D'Angelo Williams sprints ahead for 6. D'Angelo Williams, he lost his mother to breast cancer back in May, and he has done so much to raise awareness. You see the...
Even coloring his hair pink for his mother. Yes, it's the memory of her.
It's the end of the 3rd quarter with the Panthers driving, trailing 21-7. We'll return after the carry. And all the crew here in Charlotte as we start the 4th.
Well, they've done a much better job here in the second half. The Panthers play calling, keeping them off balance, and the offensive line is coming through and protecting Cam Newton.
2nd and 4. That is Williams. Stopped at the line and then waits and is able to get 3 out of it. Cam Newton threw for 47 yards in the entire first half. 89 in the 3rd quarter.
Yep, 2 big pass plays. The screen and the seam pass to Cotchery.
They trade out running backs at the last moment. Jonathan Stewart sprints onto the field. Williams to the sideline. 3rd and 1. They fake to Stewart. And they hit Brandon Williams, and he makes the move for the end zone.
I think he was hit. That knee hit the ground. But a good call on third down. Yeah, White hits him. Oh, yeah, it's definitely done. But you call that play, too, there, Jim. There's no 21-7. They're thinking 4 downs.
Well, the Panthers have already sent out their...
The previous play is under review.
They've sent out their kicker. But, of course, this has to be verified, and I doubt it will be. We'll step aside while they review it. Thursday Night Football brought to you by Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. And by T-Mobile, unleash from wireless restrictions. Lee Blakeman's about to give us the answer. And Brandon Williams, that was called a touchdown on the field, but he appears to be down.
After review of the play, the runner was down by contact with the ball positioned at the 6-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the 6 for Carolina.
And let's bring in Mike Carey. What do you see, Mike?
Well, I see an easy one to miss because the action is so fast. The knee goes down. It's obvious to us. But if there's any doubt in the line judge's mind, he's going to let it go. Because you have to have absolute positive.
Okay, I thought he was behind and saw it, but you're right. So if he's not 100% sure, that's why let the play happen and you have a chance to review.
Stewart is the running back. And now they empty it out for first and goal. Newton looked that way, and now reversing course, and is going to lose 6. It was Paris Harrelson.
Just not a good front to run that at against, Jim. It was a blitz. There was too many people at the line of scrimmage, and they are very weary of this play, the power inside. Rob Ryan, the defensive, they talked about it. When you get inside the 10, Cam Newton on running plays is what you are on high alert for.
Ryan Khalil just got shoved back right after the snap, and the play was in trouble right away. Second and goal. Here's the pass to Benjamin, and again they cannot get it to the rookie tonight as Lewis has it covered up again.
Well, sometimes you got to get some tough lessons, right? And that's what Benjamin is learning here tonight. Keenan Lewis, pretty dang good bump and run cover corner. I heard him talking about in the pregame that Dion was out there talking to him, giving him some lessons. Well, if he gave him some lessons, they're working pretty well here tonight. Deion Sanders, that is.
Third and goal. Pass too high. There it is again. Overthrows Benjamin.
Yeah, it's just quick, so fast. We talked about it early. When he misses, it's going to go high. And Benjamin that time, he has Keenan Lewis on his back. In other words, he might be able to shield him if the football's down a little, Jim.
Yeah, he had the position, didn't he?
Yep, he did. Throw it inside, softer. Let the receiver have more of a chance for a catch.
They're going to go with the field goal try from Graham Gano. 16 out of 18 on the season. This is from 31. And they put the 3 on the board. A couple of minutes into the final quarter. Now 21-10 New Orleans. He's got open space. Reaches for the pylon. And it's a touchdown. Breeze trying to go up and over. And he's got the touchdown. Well, for a moment, the Panthers thought they had a touchdown, but of course that got overturned because the knee was down. They had to settle for 3.
Yep, the quarterback run on first down just set them back so much. Hard to come up with a play from there to get them in the end zone.
Gano flies it 5 yards beyond the back line.
Well, tonight, Cam Newton just hasn't been sharp. Football just a little too hard, some of the throws. Real quick with the movement. Like I've said a couple times, there's just so little room for error that the receivers can't make that adjustment, Jim. And listen, he's going to learn. And he shows signs of it at times. The touch is just as important as throwing it with power.
1st and 10 for the Saints. They're going to try to go up top, but that effort is foiled by Edwards, who had the pick in the first quarter, first drive, and now he's got a sack.
Yeah, good job by Edwards. Number 92 just keeps working, comes around and is blocked at first, but Breeze has to leave the pocket. Well, they've gotten to Drew Brees quite a bit here tonight and gotten some hits.
That's the 4th sack of Breeze. And that one lost 6.
Well, that's what they need. Of course, 12 minutes, down 11. You need to stop to give their offense good field position.
Second and 16, and he hits Graham. Pass was perfectly thrown, and Graham gets enough space from Boston to pick up 27.
Well, he changed the play. You heard him kill. Why he did it? Because of that right there. He has Jimmy Graham one-on-one to the outside. Nobody helping him deep, and they're going to take that every time. And Jimmy Graham, he won immediately off the line of scrimmage.
There's Ingram. That run gives him 70 yards on the night off of 22 rushes. We've got 2 of the best at the position of tight end tonight in this game. This is since the start of last year, Phil, ranking 1-2 in catches and yards for tight ends.
Same division. And what they do, similar in their approach, they give them formations where the quarterback has the option, just like we saw with Drew Brees. Put him on one side, put the other receivers on the other, one-on-one, throw it to the big guy.
2nd and 5 in Ingram. Slips a bit as Melvin White was approaching. Give him a yard. By the way, let's go to your 5, Phil's 5 for the best in the league at tight end this season.
Year, yes,
Okay.
I had Greg Olsen at 5, and because what I've talked about, Jimmy Graham, it's statistically he's coming up quick though, but Gronk, same thing, seed matchups, but Antonio Gates and Julius Thomas have been unbelievable so far this year. What they've done to their offenses.
3rd and 4. And that's Cadet for the first down. Well, we're going to see Julius Thomas and Rob Gronkowski on Sunday in the national doubleheader game with Denver and New England coming up here in 3 days' time.
Well, he's getting healthy just like Jimmy Graham, and every week it just gets better when you watch Gronkowski. Same with Jimmy. Jim, we talked about this, and that tight ends now have become such an unbelievable matchup for defenses. How do you cover?
Here's Cadet.
It's the best matchup on the field.
Well, in this matchup, Graham has 6 for 77 and a touchdown. And Greg Olsen only 2 for 21.
Yeah, there's been a couple times in this game, though, Greg Olsen has been open down the seam where it could be a big play, and Cam Newton either got pressure or went with the football somewhere else.
Second and 7. Meacham to the 20. His first catch of the night. He was the one who was in on the play where the interference was called right before halftime. He's got 25 on his first reception.
I didn't see why he's open. Meacham is in the slot. Oh, they have a mistake. One guy's playing man-to-man, and then you have Colin Jones playing zone. So nobody follows Meacham up the seam. Good job by Drew Brees staying with it.
Brees, who had 9 different receivers catch a pass against Green Bay. Now Meacham becomes the 7th tonight. The 7th Saint with the least to catch. He's got a first down from the 19, and it's Ingram almost breaking it to the 12. Meacham, by the way, helped throw a nice block on that carry for 7.
Well, they got him on the run, Jim, and there's so much that comes at you. Look at all the formations, the double tight ends, one-on-one, and don't have to point out the obvious, but the Carolina Panthers defense, you might have to change up here. A touchdown puts you in, well, it almost puts the game out of reach.
Yeah, we're approaching the midway point, the final quarter, 2nd and 3, and Ingram stopped this time at the line of scrimmage.
I will say this, the Saints, sometimes when they throw the football, doesn't look so easy, but Sean Payton has been consistent with the running game, to control the clock, and the tempo. You do that just to help your defense, your offense, to keep it physical, but it keeps his defense off the field also.
3rd and 3.
I would think it's a situation here you have to blitz. You give them a first down, time will really be against you.
Brees over to Graham. Look at that cut to pick up the first down. Looked like he might have been stopped by Harper, the former Saint, but he escaped him, picked up 6 and a first.
Yeah, they got the defense. Here's Harper watching, coming across. Just can't make the tackle. Man. Jimmy Graham is feeling good. He's just so quick and nimble to be that big. Of course, he's an ex-college basketball player.
And he's on the sideline right now getting some treatment. 1st and goal. And getting halfway home is Mark Ingram.
Well, that's what they want to do. They're looking at that play clock. 3 touchdowns. Of course, the 1-0 there is where they didn't get the score, was the interception on the opening drive of the game.
They have had the football on this series for 7 minutes plus. 2nd and goal. Incomplete. Throwing that to the fullback, Lorig. Well, Brees is 3 yards away from another 300-yard game. He's 2nd all-time to Peyton Manning in producing 300-yard performances, and 3 yards away from what would be the knockout. And the timeout's called by the Saints. On Sunday, week 9 of the NFL season continues. The next broadcast window, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Here are the games on both CBS and Fox. And you can check your local listings for the game in your area. By the way, in the 4 o'clock window, it's going to be Peyton and Tom again. After having met just back on January 19th in the AFC Championship game, here we go again. And we're going to have it on CBS this Sunday. The Broncos at the Patriots.
Well, I guess safe to say nobody's tired of watching it. So it's going to be exciting. The weather's going to be cold. And here you got the Carolina defense. They need to stop them of course, on this play, make sure Jimmy Graham is not the guy being singled. He's singled at the top of the screen. To be surprised if he doesn't throw it to him.
3rd and goal. It's Ingram, and he's in for his 2nd score of the night.
Well, got everybody. Sure fooled me. Thinking pass. How do you cover Jimmy Graham, the other guys? And they run the run inside. Ben Watson gets the kick out on Coney Ely, and Ingram walks in.
It's the 3rd touchdown for Ingram in the last 4 days. And the Saints just took half of the quarter off the clock with that touchdown drive. Go up 18. Bill, we were just talking about Manning versus Brady. Get the insider's perspective of their iconic rivalry through the eyes of 6 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Plus an exclusive sit-down with Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones. NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. Worstead with a line drive to Burson. And the man from Wofford has it to about the 28.
Well, Jim, let's go back to that touchdown drive. Here's the key play. 2nd and 16. He looks at the defense, changes the play, and says, I got Jimmy Graham against Trey Boston, top of the screen, one-on-one. And it is just a quick drop, and it throws it and drops it right in there. That's what you call perfect touch on the football. And that play got him out of the hole, got the drive started.
And as you said, that was on a 2nd and 16. There's Newton. And that's the 3rd catch of the night for Greg Olsen. So that was a big 2nd down throw, the one you just showed, diagram. But they also have been 5 out of 7 on 3rd down in this half, plus scored a touchdown on a 4th down play.
Yeah, you know what happens is they have enough. Like Jimmy Graham, every time they get the matchup they like, they throw it to him.
And Newton's in trouble, and he's slung down by Gillette.
Well, now they can't help out the offensive linemen as much because they're trying to get down the field. And Foku, number 63, the big rookie from Montreal, just can't keep Junior Gillette out. Junior Gillette gets down real low, both hands on the ground in a sprinter stance most of the time, and he gets a great start from really wide outside.
It's 3rd and 8. They're by his feet, and he is down again by Akeem Hicks.
Well, looks like the end of last week's game against the Seattle Seahawks. It's obvious passing situation, of course. And now they're not worried about giving up running lanes to Cam Newton.
And that was, again, the rookie from Montreal University, Foku, who Hicks just blew by him, pushed him back. And the Panthers weren't out there for very long. Sacked on 2 of the 3 downs. Got a flag down as Cooks grabs it at the 34. And a flag down.
During the kick, illegal use of hands to the face. The return team, number 20. A 10-yard penalty is enforced at the end of the kick. 1st down, New Orleans.
Oh, happy Halloween, everybody. This would be Mischief Night, the night before Halloween. And the Saints are about to end their road demons here at Carolina.
There you go.
The NFC South standings. And our producer, Lance Barrow, absolutely refuses to give the Saints the win yet with 3:36 to go. So that's why we saw the standings coming in. There's Ingram. But the Saints look well on their way to ending that 7-game regular season road losing streak. And they will go home after this, get the mini bye off a Thursday game, and then play 3 straight home games.
Man. Well, we started the telecast tonight talking about these two teams in this divisional race. And you look at the Saints, can they catch fire? Of course they can. With this offense and Drew Brees and all the weapons. And we also said on the other side, if Carolina's going to make a run, their defense is going to have to really get it going. They had a good first half, but they wore down. They couldn't stop Drew Brees in the second half.
Meanwhile, the Panthers, who had called their first time out, will be at Philadelphia and then host Atlanta before the bye. 3 of the next 4 on the road for the Panthers. And that's going to be 5 yards against the Saints here. Maybe not.
Somebody jumped in the neutral zone.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 58. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
You know, when we talked to Sean Payton, didn't you get a sense he felt really good about his team's chances going into this one? They don't ever say that, but when you start hearing and interpreting some of the comments.
Oh, yeah, he came on, fired up. We were talking to him. Hey, you know, right away, listen, give us all the things about Thursday night. And he was adamant. We are going to play, well, he said lights out. Of course, that means really well. And they had a lot of good moments here tonight.
3rd and 1, and that's Ingram for the first. When you look at the strength of schedule the rest of the way, Carolina has the easiest schedule, and the Saints 5th easiest.
Of course, that comes a lot from their own division.
That's right.
Yeah, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, not good records. But the offense, that's when you look back to the games. They lost in Cleveland. They lost a tough game to Detroit. The offense kind of let them down in big situations. And
here's Ingram, needs 8 yards for 100, and I think that's exactly what he's got, maybe 9. How about Mark Ingram? He had one 100-yard rushing performance the first 40 games of his career. And now he's got back-to-back in games 41 and 42.
That game on Sunday night, 30 carries here tonight. We know what Mark Ingram is going to do this weekend.
It's a different look, though, for the Saints now that they have this factor, too.
Well, yeah, no doubt. Listen, when they've had their good teams and when they won the Super Bowl, the one thing that people forget, they ran the football extremely well. He's going to take Mark Ingram out, too, here.
He'll be able to take it all the way to the 2-minute warning.
He doesn't want to come out.
Not at all. 2 minutes to go. You're watching Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. Thursday Night Football brought to you by Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL. And by John Hancock. When life comes, let John Hancock help you be prepared for it. Some hopefully tasty cooking's going on over at Mac's Speed Shop, a unique Carolina barbecue restaurant here in Charlotte. 2nd and 2 with 2 minutes to go. And that's Edwin Baker getting the carry here as Ingram's night is complete with 30 carries, exactly 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And another good one coming your way next Thursday night, the battle for Ohio, the Bengals and the Browns. I'm excited about this one.
I am too. Bengals got back on the winning track last week, and of course the Browns, a surprise to a lot of people with that record and the way they're playing.
Yeah, the Browns at 4-3. Cincinnati last week was able to beat the Ravens on a late touchdown by Andy Dalton to win both of the matchups this year against Baltimore. Tonight after the game, we're live on the field for highlights and analysis. Plus, we'll see which of tonight's stars stop by the set, the Mazda postgame show, right after the game live on NFL Network. I was talking about Ingram's night with the 30 for 100. He's the first Saint since Deuce McAllister back in '06 to have consecutive 100-yard performances. Jimmy Graham had 7 for 83 and a touchdown tonight.
Ready? You ready? What's up?
Sean Payton and the Saints get it done on the road tonight.
They'll give them the win now, but what a job. Really good overcoming the turnovers early in the game and staying on course, kept running the football, and just finally wore down the Carolina Panthers.
Another strong performance by the Saints defense in this game. 4 sacks. They did not allow a Newton touchdown pass. He did run for one, did Cam, but Newton was picked once. Really wasn't his fault. But they hold the Panthers to 231 total yards. And the Panthers have now won only 1 of their last 7 games. They're 1-5-1 since starting 2-0. And now, there you go, the updated standings. And the Saints take top position with this victory tonight.
Yeah, it's a good job, like we said, Jim, and you got to be wary of the Saints. They're probably not going to get the number 1 or 2 seed in the NFC. But that offense, after last week and this week, look out.
Look out for this guy right here. He is starting to break out. Give them quite a difference. 28-10 is the final. New Orleans wins it. Coming up, the Mazda post-game show for Phil, Tracy, and Mike Carey. Jim Nance saying so long from Charlotte. You've been watching Thursday Night Football. We'll join the studio after this.